Hey everyone, this is Triple Play Fantasy Beyond the Analyst. I'm your host, Zach at FF Triple Batman. I am joined today by the famous, maybe infamous, Amanda. You probably know her better as Cooterdoodle. She is one of the staff writers over for Matthew Berry's Fantasy Life, host of the Petite Pods, and the self-proclaimed lady in the streets, but cocky in the tweets. How's it going, Amanda?
It's going great. I think you made a mistake, though. This says Beyond the Analyst, and I don't think you got an analyst today. So I hope that's all right.
No, you're still an analyst in my eyes, and it's more of a guideline of a title. We don't just have all fantasy analysts. You're a content creator, and that's what this is all about.
So we're safe. We're
yeah,
safe.
don't worry. Yeah, Beyond the content creator just doesn't have the same catchiness as Beyond the analyst. But welcome to the show. For those of you who are just joining in, where were you in season 1? We had 30 awesome interviews last off season, so go check those out on the Triple Play Fantasy YouTube. But thank you for joining now. Make sure you go ahead, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff to support the team over at Triple Play Fantasy. But the whole point of this is to get to know Amanda, or Cooterdoodle, as you all may know her better. Not about her awesome fantasy takes as a not analyst. But yeah, that's really what we're here to talk, is all about you. So I guess we'll start off with an easy one. You've been in the fantasy space for a few years now. I think you started in 2020 during COVID, when everyone was hopping on to fantasy Twitter, which was a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. And you started off with creating, in my opinion, hilarious videos. I guess some people might call them cringy, but I thought they were hilarious. Yeah. Now you work for Matthew Berry's Fantasy Life. So what has been the coolest or most surreal experience of your journey so far?
That's a good question. I honestly, when you sent me the show sheet, I was like, I don't know. I really had to think about it, and it's going to sound so Hallmark. But for me, the craziest part is just that I've legitimately made friendships with strangers on the internet. For me, that wasn't what I set out to do necessarily. I just wanted to go on Twitter during COVID and kill time, as a parent stuck in the house with a 2-year-old. But I've genuinely, there's people that I still haven't met yet. I hope to meet someday, but I consider them as friends. And that to me is surreal, because I just never, dipped my toes in that world and never thought that was possible. How can you actually meet people online and become close with them? You know what I mean? So for me, that's the most surreal part.
Yeah, it is weird too. And I mean, we all grew up with don't talk to strangers on the internet as we were growing up, as the internet was created. And now you're like, yeah, all of my friends that I want to talk to are on the internet.
Yeah, everyone was everyone's lying about who they are. They're all catfishing, and they're all 80-year-old men out to kill you or something, But it's no, there's good people out here. I've made some friends.
Yeah, though that would be a great reality show with all The Circle and all that stuff, and Catfish, of having some kind of The Circle but for fantasy football. That might be fun. Then everyone meets at the expo and you were a catfish.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So you have spoken before about imposter syndrome, and I think a lot of people in the fantasy football space feel it too. So how do you push through that?
Oh goodness, let me know if you figure that out. I think what it is for me is kind of, and I'm sure people can relate, you can do 100 good things right, and you make one mistake, and that's the thing you think about. And so, and not just for fantasy football, but I mean, as a parent, as a friend, whatever. And so what I've kind of tried to do is I give myself 10 minutes of a pity party to kind of cycle through bad thoughts of this is terrible, how could I, whatever. And then I literally cut it off. I'm no, move on, move past it. So that might be a way. I don't know. And I know people say fake it till you make it, but then sometimes you just keep feeling like you're faking it. So I don't know. But yeah, just kind of focusing on what you actually have accomplished rather than the things that you haven't, or focusing so much maybe on the chase rather than where you are,
Yeah. And I've also felt sometimes we all get in our own heads, and that's where the imposter syndrome comes in, where we're oh, someone's going to think that what I said, I said the wrong word, or I pronounced it wrong, or whatever. And nobody really cares. Either you gave out good content or it wasn't good content, and they move on with their lives, even though we sit in it for 10 minutes, hours, days, weeks. And you're
yeah, spelling errors, move past it. We're going to make them,
Yep. The worst is when you make a graphic and you're so proud, and then you look and you're yep, definitely spelled that name.
Yep, it's in there.
Awesome. I appreciate that. And then I know you love the trash talk in your leagues. I think that's maybe what you might be most proud for, winning your league ever. And then you can't stop trash talking after that. What has been the biggest backfire for a trash talking experience? Because we all have them.
Oh, I don't know. I think this is just personal to me, but it's my bad luck charm. Like I sent a video early on in Twitter days trash talking Linda, and then she beat me. And then in the first year that I was in the Sleeper Bowl, I was undefeated, made a video trash talking all the analysts that are smarter and better than me, and then I started losing. Same thing with Daddy's Home. Like I did it with him, started losing. So it's like I love to trash talk, but when I do it, I'm setting myself up for failure every time.
That was
Every
with AJ
single time.
Dillon with that league,
Yeah.
the Sleeper League, right?
Yes.
You drafted AJ Dillon, right?
The first year, yeah, I did. Yeah. Played AJ Dillon against AJ Dillon. So that was pretty fun. I feel like that's kind of like, maybe that was a surreal moment, right? Let me change my answer. Yeah. That was pretty surreal. Got to play AJ Dillon against AJ Dillon.
Now, did you beat him or was that one of the losses?
Oh gosh, I'm assuming I lost because I don't remember. So I would have remembered if I beat him. You know what I mean? I must have lost.
We'll pretend like you beat him, but that would have been really cool though if he would have like had an awesome game. Yeah. And then you can just trash talk him with, hey, like you did so well that I kicked your butt.
Yeah.
Now that'd be really cool to play against some celebrities and athletes as well. And I couldn't imagine drafting a player and then playing against them.
Mm-hmm.
But if Austin Eckler, if you're out there listening, like
I know,
come on and we'll play.
I love Austin Eckler too.
He's been great. I loved him on the Yahoo show with Matt Harmon this past offseason. I hope they keep it going.
I know, me too. I love whenever like the players are into it. You know, like it's fun.
Yeah, and he gets it. He's just like, hey, I can make way more fans by talking about fantasy football than you just like the Chargers. So, but I get it. I would say as an industry, we're not the best at. Well, not the industry. As a community, we're not always the best with players. Of like, hey, you cost me my team, and like, yeah, we don't care.
Yeah, I feel like I don't see that as much though. Like, I feel like people are kind of maybe it's in a different corner of the internet, but I don't see that much.
Yeah, no, I think I've curated my timeline to keep that off, but I mean, I know it exists out there. People just or they go into the DMs, which is even worse.
Yeah, that is terrible. Yeah.
Yeah, no but so that's bad trash talk. But talking about good trash talk, do you have any tips for anyone that maybe they're just not good at trash talking, but they want to spice it up this year?
I mean, you got to find the things about the person you're trash talking to, show them that you know them, maybe pull in a little history of them doing terribly in the past. Don't be afraid to trash talk when you're losing. That's something I think people lose the art of. Like, you don't have to just talk when you're up. I love to trash talk even when I'm down. And being able to take it. Like, if you can't take trash talk, nobody wants to hear you do it. You know, it's not fun. So
that's fair. So make it personal.
Make it personal.
Punch up even when you're down.
Oh, always punch up. It's so much more fun. It's so much more fun when you're like terrible in last place and talking trash.
Well, you have nothing to lose at that point.
Yeah, and it's just so much fun. And then if you start winning, it's even more embarrassing for them. And then, being able to take it. You got to be able to take it.
Now, is there like an ideal medium? Like, is video the best way to do it, or is it you want something more personal? Are you like writing a letter, or is it a screenshot?
It depends. It depends on the league. Like my home league, I feel like there's all sorts, like videos, group chats, everything. The first year when I won it, I printed out my winning roster and autographed it and sent it to the second place, loser. Just anything. You got to be creative. Stay on your toes.
Yeah, so just spitballing here. It would be hilarious if you used Matthew Berry on like a Petite Pods to trash talk, like literally a person from your home league, like that. That's small of a thing. Just
speaking
of trash talk you.
Speaking of backfiring, so in my home league, we've had like a history of people not wanting to do the punishment, and so my husband and I sent this video trash talking the entire league, telling them they're terrible and they have to complete a punishment of eating hot wings. And I called them bad words. Like I was really slinging it and I lost and had to eat the hot wings. And in the video stuff, my husband had gotten Matthew Berry to tell me he's embarrassed for me and all this stuff. So like full circle, it backfired 100%.
Well, that's really cool of Matthew to do that. And
yeah.
I love that your husband pulled him in. And now, was your husband in the league as well?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay. We're in the league together. Yep.
Yeah. So I've been playing with my wife now 8 years, I think. Never finished higher than her in our home 3 times. She's dominated for years, and it doesn't matter if I beat her in the regular season. I've never finished higher than her at the end, and she reminds me every single draft
See,
and throughout the
that's
season.
great trash talking. She's getting you nervous before the season even starts. That's the way to do it. That's great.
Oh, it's the worst. And this year I won that contest with Trophy Smack, so I get a free trophy every year now for like 20 years, which is really cool.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this is my worst year ever. I finished in last place in the league. She actually did. This is her worst year as well, but she still finished higher than me. But I'm like, what are the odds? Now my dad won it, so it's cool that he gets a trophy, and I feel good for him to finally win his first one. But yeah, it's I feel like I try not to trash talk because of what you're talking about with it just backfires. But even me being nice backfired, so I might have to trash talk this next
Yeah,
season.
you gotta switch it up, especially if you've been nice this whole time. Now is the time to really start punching because they don't expect it, you know?
Yeah, I believe in that like fantasy football karma. Like you don't want to upset the fantasy football gods, and then that's when the karma gets you. But it sounds like it doesn't matter for me, and I just need to trash talk.
Well, and I feel like if there really are fantasy gods, I feel like they want a little trash talk because I feel like it gives the league something to root for and against, and it gets everyone kind of fired up. Because the worst thing to me isn't losing. The worst thing to me is a league that's boring and no one's talking. Mm-hmm. That's personally I don't want a league where no one's interacting. I want to be in it. Even if I'm losing, I'd much rather be in a league that's vocal and talking all the time.
Yeah, you need the action. All right, I think I'm going to take a heel turn.
Okay.
We'll be the villain this next year as the commissioner. We'll have some fun.
Yes, do it.
I'll let you know how it goes. So you mentioned you're not an analyst, but that's okay. You are a content creator. Absolutely. There's a lot of new content creators or people thinking about coming into the space, especially over the last couple of years. It's a lot easier to do your own thing or to join up with other people. Do you have any advice for those content creators that maybe are just thinking about starting out and what they should do when they first start out?
Yeah, I mean, people ask this all the time, and I'll be honest, just like with the imposter syndrome, I don't know that I have an answer, but I can say what I do. Like, I've always kind of stayed true to what I'm enjoying as content. Like, I know that my strength isn't like for work. I do a lot of number crunching and research with that, but that's just not my strength with football. Like, I'm a fan of it. I want to be memeing and having a good time and be fun, and so that's what I've stuck to, and I haven't tried to switch. Because I feel like as long as you stick to what you're comfortable with, it feels real. People will, want more of it, and you just will be happier doing it. I just can't imagine like trying to fit into a mold that isn't you, and it just seems like that would be miserable, So That would be my thing is just kind of whatever you're, and I'm gonna butcher this word, niche or niche. I don't know which one, but
I think both are good.
Yeah, whichever one is yours, like just stick with it because. Don't go chasing after whatever the cool thing is to do. It's going to change. Just do whatever you want to do,
Absolutely. I think authenticity goes a long way
100%.
In the space. I mean, there's so many people out there doing their thing. And if you're not doing something that, like you said, you're passionate about, everyone's going to see through it and they'll just move on to the next one. Yep. And I feel like a lot of people do try to kind of copy your niche, thinking, oh, everyone's liking what Cooterdoodle is putting out, but it's not the same. You can't imitate what someone else is doing. You gotta.
And it's just like, I don't know. Once you find your niche, whatever. Once you find it, like you find your people, and you just kind of, like I said, I've made friends because you're authentic and you're just doing what you would do regardless. And so then even if you maybe have a certain goal that you don't meet, you've still had some positive interactions throughout the process.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that authentic advice. No, I think it goes a long way because it is definitely, I would say, intimidating for a lot of people because it is very vulnerable to put yourself out there and to put your content out there. Because we know people aren't always the nicest with feedback, but you got to kind of have to tune out that noise and, like you said, focus on your friends and get the support that way.
And do stuff that you're proud of, like if you're faking it in the sense of like doing things you don't want to do or trying to fit a mold that isn't you're just not going to be proud of it at the end of the day. Even if it does well, you're just not going to feel good about it,
Absolutely. So that was the last of, we'll call it the real hard-hitting questions.
Okay.
I have some rapid fire questions if you're game.
Yes, let's do it.
All right.
Rapid fire questions.
Nothing but the best here for our graphics. So I try to theme these to my guests as much as I can. It just makes it more fun for everybody. So you can answer this with literally one word. It's rapid fire. Or you can kind of go into a little explanation if you need to. But I tried to theme these to you and some of the content you put out. So we got to start off with this one, obviously, first. Okay. What is the best cereal to put in the bowl after you pour the milk first?
Fruity Pebbles. Easy.
Awesome. And then, which of the following is not actually a turtle? The red-eared slider, cooters, yellow-stained river, or painted?
I'll be honest, I don't know. I've seen turtles with yellow stripes, so I think that's a real one. I know a cooter is a turtle. I'm gonna go with painted is not a turtle.
It is a turtle. It's the yellow-stained river.
Oh, the one. Oh.
Yeah, well, I changed so it's actually there's a yellow striped river turtle, and then there's also a yellow spotted river turtle, and I just changed the word to stained to
I was
kind
gonna
of
say I know
tricky.
around here I've seen that yellow stripe. I've
Yeah,
seen
so
it.
I just had to change the word up for you, but you are we'll call it the expert on turtles and cooters, so
Sure, yes.
had to throw that in there because we all know the cooter is a
That's
turtle.
what we tell HR. It's definitely a
Yep,
turtle.
absolutely a turtle. So, what is your all-time favorite video game?
Ooh, the short answer is whatever one all my friends are playing, but the other answer is Call of Duty.
Is there a
Whatever one
specific
of
Call of
those.
Duty?
I mean, Modern Warfare 2 was like peak fun times, but right now all my friends play Warzone 2, so that one's still good. It's all about the social stuff, you know?
Yeah, and you are on Twitch, right? You stream.
I mean, very rarely. Yeah,
but
sometimes,
yeah.
but yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's gonna be a lot. Now, do you do a lot of trash talking with video games as well?
Ooh, no, I don't. I get like I said, it's very social. I like to have fun. I did really good the other night. We played 10 matches and we won 5 of the 10, so that was fun. But I'm usually like middle of the pack. I'm not super aggressive. I need to get rezzed a good bit, but you know, I can carry my own, but I'm not trash talking.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
What is the best way to wear Crocs?
You know, I did that little bet that or whatever I did. I trash talked to the world about wearing Crocs with socks for 49 days, and I didn't make it through the whole thing. But I will say I put on Crocs without socks the other day, and I felt very naked. So I am now a socks and Crocs girl, I think. But I don't do sports mode. I never do sports mode.
That was gonna be my next question.
Yeah,
Is it
no,
in sports
never.
mode or not? So, okay,
I just don't. I feel very uncomfortable in sports mode. I want to be able to just if I need. I'd much rather like if you're talking sports or running, it's better to just fling them off, poop, poop, and run barefoot. In my opinion, nobody's gonna want to win a race in Crocs.
I want to see Tyreek Hill now run in Crocs to see if he's still that fast.
Yeah, 40 in Crocs. Put them all out there. That's really gonna tell me what I need.
That's the combine that we need.
Yes.
I've actually never worn Crocs before, but now I might have to. So try with socks, not sport mode.
Yeah, not sport mode.
So I gotta feel like you're the Croc expert now.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I will have to try that out. And you are a Saints fan, so who is your all-time favorite Saints player?
You know, I'm nothing if not very much current in all my information and the things that I love, and it's Jamal Williams. It's got to be. He's such a good player, and now that he's here, I just can't wait. And no disrespect to the old Saints, you know, I love them all, but I'm really thrilled about Jamal.
Are you gonna get his jersey in every color?
Oh yeah. Well, not every color. No. I'm too cheap for that. I'll get one, and that's the one I'm gonna wear this season.
There you go.
Yeah.
Y'all do all your trash talking videos in the Jamal Williams because I think he would appreciate the trash talk.
Yeah, he's the best. He's so funny.
See, now we got to get him in the sleeper league with you.
I know that would be. Oh God, I could die happy.
We'll talk to sleeper.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was the last of my rapid fire questions. I think you nailed them all. You did great. And I know people are still cringing about the pour the milk first.
I mean, I've converted some people. I'll be honest. I'm not saying it's a cult, but I have converted some people to try it, and they're like, you know, my milk first and kept my cereal crunchy. So, just saying, try it.
There's a group out there.
Yeah.
I appreciate you coming on. It was great to get to talk to you, get to know you a little bit better. I hope everyone enjoyed learning more about trash talking from you. Hopefully, they have a lot more fun this season with the trash talking. Can you let everyone know where they can find you and all of the content that you do put out?
Yes, you can find me on Twitter at Cooterdoodle. You can subscribe to the Fantasy Life newsletter at MB Fantasy Life on Twitter or fantasylife.com. And I don't know, tag me if you trash talk your people and show me what you do because it might give me some ideas.
Awesome. Yeah, we need to come up with a hashtag sometime and we'll we'll start some trash talking.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be great. All right. Well, I appreciate you coming on, Amanda. Thank you. For all of you guys out there, if you're listening, make sure you go ahead and follow, download wherever you're listening to, so you don't miss out on any of the other great interviews this off season. And if you're watching on YouTube, hit that like button, subscribe to Triple Play Fantasy. We got you covered with football, baseball, basketball, food, movies. We got it all at Triple Play. So make sure you go ahead and support the team there. And thanks again, Cooterdoodle, and have a great one, everyone out there.